Donnie and Dolly. The team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help. And King of Floors, your vinyl, laminate, and engineered flooring superstore.
I'm being informed that there is a big scoop in Mount Vernon, Washington.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't remember the big scoop. So it must have been a few years ago.
Yeah, in the 70s, big scoop was
I'm
big.
a Baskin and Robbins, guys. Let's just call it what it is.
And you're proud of that.
31 flavors, by the way, at Baskin and Robbins.
Are you good here? we want to talk White Spot. I'm the one who brought it up.
Yeah, thank you.
All of our guests today, should we have the graphic up again? There we go. Thanks, Derek. All of our guests today are sponsored by White Spot, black truffle cheese and mushroom burger. That's what I'm talking about. Try White Spot's new adventurous burger lineup. After all, burgers are kind of our thing, on now for a limited time at White Spot. We'll see you soon as we bring in NHL insider and analyst John Shannon. John, thanks for doing this, sir. How are you?
Hey, old man, how are you?
Whoa. Very well. You know what? You're right. Yeah, you're right. It's okay. It's okay.
Hey, listen. Enjoy it. Live with it.
Yeah.
I was talking to somebody with a club not too long ago, and they said, we're really proud of our diversity programs. We're working with minorities. It's great. And I said, yes, it's great. And we're working with women. We have a good percentage of our staff going to be women. That's fantastic. I agree. That's fantastic. I said, now hire a senior. So,
were you applying for a job?
I'm always applying for jobs.
Yeah, that's true.
Are you kidding me? Why would we stop? We get paid to do this, Donnie.
Yep. Hey, listen, I'm an old man, and I'm happy I got to the point where I can get called an old man. Yeah. All right? Yeah, so it's not a bad thing.
And for the record, as I am going to White Spot after I finish with you, I'm going over to my White Spot here in Southern Ontario for my Triple O.
Nice.
Perfect.
But I'll just say one more thing, Jamocha almond fudge.
That's your favorite Baskin Robbins flavor?
Baskin Robbins, John?
Jamocha almond fudge.
Absolutely. Okay.
All right. One of the 33 flavors.
31. John, 31
you said
flavors.
33.
31.
Hey, John, the White Spot poll question. Speaking of White Spot, did the Caps and Rangers, did they embarrass the NHL last night?
I already voted. I voted.
And?
Yes, they did. Of course they did. When you have a fight off the opening face-off, that's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. That's wrong. I thought we had gotten rid of that in the game. The last time, short of the Tortorella-Hartley stuff at the arena in Vancouver.
Yep.
2012 Devils, Rangers, Tortorella, DeBoer, exact. If you play the video of the 2012 event and last night, it's identical. And I was on the air that night in 2012, and I was rather displeased, and so I was disappointed again last night too.
So what should have happened, John? And I ask that because if the Rangers hadn't responded in some way, they would have been criticized.
They would have been criticized by a certain percentage of the market, and quite honestly, I think by their owner. I think that everything that's come down is reflective of what Jim Dolan always wants, and quite frankly, Jim Dolan always gets what he wants because it's his house. So it's, did the Rangers, do they have enough toughness in the lineup? Probably not, based on when you're playing a team like the Washington Capitals. The problem becomes, Donnie, is that Tom Wilson is a freak of nature.
Yeah.
He is such a great player, on top of being sometimes out of control, and a massive body. I mean, here, listen. Let me ask you this question: would you put him on the Olympic team?
He might get consideration.
He
will get consideration.
He is going to get consideration for the Olympic team.
Yeah.
He will be in part of the discussions of Doug Armstrong's camp of people that run that team. It's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, and John, if Tom Wilson was a UFA, I'm pretty confident 31 teams would be calling his agent.
32.
Yeah, 32. No kidding.
Yeah.
John, when you look at John Davidson Jeff Gorton, Chris Drury, that whole thing, and Dolan getting unpatient. He's just not patient with the rebuild. And they went from 24th to 16th, so there was progress this year in New York. But what do you read into the changes in management? Just shocked everybody.
It did, though. I think that if you talk to people inside the organization, they will tell you that something happened 5 or 6 weeks ago that changed the temperature. It's interesting today when Chris had his press conference this morning, who was sitting beside him, and that was Glenn Sather.
Glenn Sather, yeah.
I know all those characters. I know them all very well. I would love to know what Glenn Sather's role has been in all of this behind the scenes. Everybody says, well, Glenn's gone. Glenn has never left. Glenn has always had Jim Dolan's ear. And Glenn has, in my opinion, probably has a lifetime contract with the Rangers. He lives between Palm Springs and New York City. He has a fantastic penthouse apartment on 3rd Avenue in the 70s and loves living in New York. And I would just love to know what his role in all of this has been over the last 5 or 6 weeks.
Would John Davidson ever think of Vancouver? I mean, everybody in this city, there's a faction of the fan base that would like to see him here.
As president.
Yeah, well, I think that, and Donnie, you brought up Calgary. I think that's very valid too. And Aaron Portzline's discussion about Columbus. If I'm Murray Edwards in Calgary, if I'm Francesco, or if I'm John McConnell in Columbus, I'm already on the phone. And then also, and on top of that, if I'm TNT or ESPN, I'm on the phone. So if John wants to work, and I'm not convinced that he does at this point, if John wants to work, he will be in high demand this summer.
And I think I know what Charles Oakley would say to this. What's Jim Dolan like to work for, John, from what you know?
He is. He likes to win. He likes to make money. But in the end, it's his toy. And he's very demanding. Sometimes he crosses the line. But again, it's his house. He gets to do what he wants, and you don't have to work for him if you don't want. So from that perspective, once you sign up to work for him, you sign up to take his abuse.
And switching gears, what's the general opinion around NHL circles of the job George Parros is doing in the head office?
I think there's some frustration. Obviously, I was actually hoping that while we're on the air, we would hear the Busnevich ruling. I think he will get 2 or 3 games. If you think that Shane Gostisbehere got 2 games for pushing a player from the back into the boards, I think that Pavel will probably get 3. But that's my personal opinion. The other thing to put in perspective, guys, is that George does not make the decisions by himself. Mm-hmm. The commissioner and the deputy commissioner have a role in this. George is paid to be the premier or the head of the department. But in my personal opinion, there's little or no doubt that Gary and Bill have a role in most of the big and controversial rulings, including, I would suspect, Monday night.
We could go on and on, John. Thanks so much for this. We'll talk to you next Thursday.
Cheers.